that little 1800.
No, you said I needed a 6300.
Yeah, sounds about right. TX. This one. I'm gonna redo these labels. They're barely visible anymore.
I didn't say this to her, but I'm like, mother sent to a granddaughter, son, they didn't want it.
my God, did I do it? Do I have like stuff going? Microphone? Yes. Camera? Yes. Backup camera? Maybe. Hello, it's Wednesday. I think I'm live. I think the mic is working. The glasses are dirty. It's Wednesday. We're in the workshop. What do we have to say? Let's clean the glasses because I was going to actually try to do that before this started. And then I realized I didn't have anything over here. Okay. Oh, I know. The wrong mic is on. That's the error today. We're going to turn the border mic off. That'll probably sound better. Happy Wednesday, Robert. How are you? I think this one is working. Is it? Is it? Yes. It says we have sound. The computer bits and bytes are flowing. So, what's happening in this world? Well, remote ID got a reprieve, looks like, for a few months. I don't really know the details, but Josh Bixler did a live stream within the last week where he built an FT Arrow. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So the FT Arrow is being revived, I guess, because it's a great plane. That's why. It's a great plane. Am I on camera? Is it okay? It's all good? Program HD, yes. So, first thing we should talk about is this plane. I did do some finishing touches since the last live stream. I actually recorded it and I was going to play it, and I'm like, yeah, you guys don't care. What do I mean, I put the antenna bits on, I think. I put the Velcro on, and you can see it has a broken prop. Your boy here, AC, does not know how to fly a plane. I could not launch this plane. 3 attempts until I broke the prop on the 3rd attempt. I forgot my box of props, which it turned out I had one more. I have one more. I'm going to have to order some more from like Horizon Hobby or somewhere. Our local hobby shop is gone. Well, the one that was like 20 miles away, that was the closest one that would have had props like that. So it's either Amazon Hobby, Horizon Hobby, which Amazon sells from Horizon Hobby, so it's the same. So, got to put a new prop on this and try to launch it again. Then I also brought with me the other plane, my other line of sight plane, the other plane that I built on this stream. Here it is. It's not put together, but I took this plane with me to the field too, and I forgot the batteries for this. So it was a really epic fail that day. I finally was like actually going to fly stuff, get back into line of sight, and just crash these things. I had 3 line of sight planes with me. My FT Arrow line of sight, which turns out I did have a battery for. Anyway, I screwed up. I totally screwed up. So, my line of sight attempts will have to wait for another day. And, well, let's just put the prop on for fun while we're talking. And so I did have one actually charged battery for the FT Arrow, but I used it to fly fly FPV because I wanted to fly something. And I can fly FPV and launch my plane and get out of the way of all the dudes that are like doing their gassers and stuff. So I should, in fact, one of the things I was thinking of doing on this live stream was building a camera setup to put a camera on my head and have it with a battery, like an actual LiPo, At least that's an option. So build a cable that will power it from a LiPo, and have like maybe my Mobius or something on a headband thing. I have a few headband camera thingies in there. I thought maybe if I did that. Oh, you watched it. See, I tried to watch it, but I was doing work stuff and there was a lot going on. So I had it on. I mean, I had it on the computer was playing it, but I didn't actually pay much attention to it. But I thought, you know what? My arrows are much better because they have that 3D printed wide pod, and it makes life so much easier, and it's still a great plane. In fact, it's a better plane because you can use bigger batteries. You can put your FPV, you can actually put FPV gear in it, unlike, I mean, you could do FPV without different than the way they've designed it. Now that I am a better builder, I'm not a better pilot, but I'm a better builder than I was in my early aero days. I think you could put FPV like in the wing part. You build it into the wing as you're building the plane, and forget about that tiny little center pod. Just put a battery in there and not try to put the camera in there. See, when I built my first aero, FPV aero, the reason I built the 3D printed pod in the first place was I was trying to build an aero to fit the motor, the ESC, the battery, the camera in the front, and the FPV pod, the transmitter, the VTX, all on the same, little tiny center pod that's only like 1 inch wide, and I just couldn't do it. I just kept failing. I got to get this little thing out of here. I just kept failing and failing. And yeah. Where's the tools? Oh, I keep forgetting I've moved them to this handy drawer right there. So anyway, that's why I built a 3D printed. Oh, I'm ruining this thing. Push it out from this side, dum-dum. No, it's not coming out. Oh, I just lost it. It's a good thing we have another one. Okay, we're going to use the new one. That settles it for good. I think it's this one. So anyway, I launched this thing 3 times. One time I was like 1 inch from getting it in the air. You know, all I have to do is get it into the air, and it will actually fly. Then I can actually start flying. But I kept failing at getting it into the air. I think this is the one we want right here. It's a close call between these two. So this one, and let's cut off. Oh, they didn't come on. Okay, so let's. Anyway, so epic fail on my plan to do some actual line of sight, and just only line of sight, and just keep flying until I crash the planes that I brought or successfully learned how to fly. Now that one has landing gear, which doesn't necessarily mean I can take it off and succeed at not crashing it, but you'd think. I've just spoiled myself so much with auto launch and iNav and FPV, and line of sight is completely different. It's a completely different ball game. Oh, I was going to balance the prop. Let's balance the prop. I've decided on the 6-inch or bigger props, they should be balanced. And when I was cleaning up over to the side there, I've actually cleaned up this workshop area. Can't really tell, but I dusted off the fancy schmancy. I don't even know where I got this from. Somehow I just have it. I didn't buy it, buy it new, but it has all. Oh, I got it at that auction. Not the auction, the estate sale. Yeah, there was an estate sale of a guy who had he was a old-timery guy with a gasser type, bunch of gas stuff. And so at the end, we were there like at the very end, and it had been picked through, and there was still a whole bunch of stuff. That's where the Falker is. That's where I got that, at that estate sale. The Falker 192, or the whatever that is. Should I get that and show you that big giant thing? I've showed it before. Okay, so let's see. The idea behind this. So that side went down, right? So that's the heavy side. Let's turn it back. It should stay. It should stay in whatever place you put it. It should stay, right? And it's kind of staying there. So let's turn it just a little bit more. It's kind of staying there. These APC props are supposed to be balanced, but I don't really know if they really are. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, Chris. Good evening, Robert, and whoever else is here. One other person somewhere. And good evening to any new subscribers that'll be watching this. There's actually been like 2 or 3 again. Wow. To me, I'm like, that's amazing. Anyway, I think this is close to being balanced. It's not really moving around. There it does. Just a little bit. I'd say that this side is just maybe a tiny bit heavy, but I'm not going to worry about that much. Okay, so this does not need to be like done anything to. Thank goodness, because I was going to put a piece of tape on it. Okay, so we'll put this on. So it's very unsuccessful flying this, but it does have, I did configure all the control surfaces. And then I'll tell the next story, because there's this, I've built another plane on this live stream and then never talked about what happened, because I never did anything after that with it. Well, I took that to the flying field too. And that plane is, let's put the prop back on this one and then get that plane out. And we'll talk about what the hell happened to that. I should have prepared the video of that one. I'm sure I've got it in my goggle video. Doesn't matter, it's only half a second. Okay, so this plane, short story, couldn't launch it. Could not launch it. Now I got a new prop. Now I can take it back to the field. Even though I cartwheeled it, I hit it on the ground and crap all over the place. It's a tiny little plane, so it doesn't, the ends of the wings get all goobered up, but that's about it really. And the front, you can tell it hit, and it's actually pointing a little bit sideways, just a tiny, like maybe 1 or 2 millimeters. What are we gonna do, right? Okay, next up. So, simple stick, couldn't fly. Tiny trainer, couldn't launch. Couldn't fly the simple stick because I didn't have the right batteries with me. Tiny trainer, couldn't launch. Next up, on the field of failures, is this plane. Remember this plane? This plane I took to the field with me. I did get the radio set up right. Finally, remember, I don't know if you remember, it's not that interesting, but I couldn't get the radio going right. I couldn't get the radio set up, the mode set up. I finally just sat down. Like I said, I was it didn't take me that long. I did it out in the field with my laptop, out at the flying field. And it was kind of cool because the weather was awesome. And what was I going to say? I just wanted to make sure that things were still working over there. So I reprogrammed it by taking my laptop and looking at the program for the FT Aero, my iNav FT Aero, and actually copying down all the values into Notepad so then I could just check everything where basically channel 6 was the whole deal, right? The little, I had it in a bunch of different places to make the different modes. So, got all that sorted out. Got it ready to launch, and then auto launch wouldn't engage, and so then I took it back and plugged it back into the Professor and told it to do the spin up, and I hadn't set the auto launch settings. When we did the live stream, I swear I did the auto launch settings, but nope, didn't do them. So I redid those according to my specs, but I did notice one thing very interesting. In earlier iNav versions, I set my auto launch to 15 seconds. So it will go to either 15 seconds. No, that's it. It just flies up to 15 seconds. There's no maximum altitude set or anything on my old like iNav 2.2.1 on my arrows and stuff. So that in iNav 6.1, which is what's on this thing, you can only go to like, we should figure it out. You can't go as far as you think. You can't go. You can't go 15 seconds. You can't put 15 seconds. I think it's 6, which is not, that's way shorter than 15. Excuse me. So, what happened? Excuse me, I got a drink because when I talk a lot, my throat starts to get sore. What happened is that, yeah, I'll put my head through here. What happened is that I got auto launch all set up, and then I got the cameras going and everything. It turned out I couldn't switch the cameras because I had only set up 8 channels for some reason. Like when you're doing 1 through 8 on the radio setup, and yes, I'm on OpenTX. Yes, it's my old Tyrannus. Yes, yes, yes. So on OpenTX, you have that 1 through 8 when you're setting up Free Sky radio, and you can change it to 1 through 16, but I just left it at 1 through 8, and you have to go to that 8 and hit the enter and, up it to 16. So that's what I did. Then I had enough channels because this switcher's on channel 10 or something like that. Did all the things there. So got that going. Got it so that I would launch. Auto launch. I mean, it spun up and I chucked it in the air. Oh, that's the other thing. So then I realized that look what the situation is for launching. Here's my hand. Here's the spinny finger chopper offer thingy. And I just thought, the spinny finger chopper offer thingy is going to spinny and choppy off my finger. So, anyway, I'm glad you guys are having your own conversation over there. That's cool, good, because that's what I like. I'm glad. I like to have the community of the Canadians up there. Thank you for being here and doing that, because I like that. I go back and read it, and anyway, cool. Thank you. Anyway, but on my world back here, in the boring world, I was afraid to chop off my fingers. So then I decided I'm going to launch it like this, which is how I launched the arrow. Basically, I launch it like that. There's no other way to launch the arrow. So I should be able to launch it. So it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It launched and crashed, nose in, and this whole part. So now I've already repaired it. I spared you you can see right there the crease of crunchiness. So it wasn't a high-speed impact, and this was good enough to survive. Good enough to survive. I told you I didn't care about this plane the whole time, right? The whole time we were building it, I was like, this is the not give a shit plane. Look at the not give a shit motor and the not give a shit prop, although we could probably put a better prop on. And it's just the not, look at it's the wibbly wobbly, everything is look at the rudder or the elevator here. It's a mess. Everything's a mess. But it all worked. So the problem might be there's not enough elevator travel. But I don't know. I got to look at that. The problem might be that I just, you know, gave it too much goofiness when I launched it. Unfortunately, Kevin was busy and I didn't want to wait for him to video any of these things. He had his own things going. He was flying and flying, and he was like, he was pushing himself, man. He's pushing himself to like really become a really good pilot and understand everything, and that's great because he's struggled a little bit. And so I think, although I think he's a better pilot, I mean, he's a better pilot than I am, so I don't have anything to say, but you know, he's trying really hard to like push himself to, anyway, so I wasn't going to mess with that. And he even said, well, you want to film it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, we're doing it next time. So anyway, that's the story of this plane. It's a cool looking plane for a crappy piece of foam. And I just, so this whole piece separated across here. It cracked here. And all I did was just kind of spit some glue in there and reinforce it with just one piece of clear tape. Like I said, the catch still works. The magnets are still there. So we'll try it again. This was lit. Well, this will try another day. So what do we have? What are we going to do? What do we have to say? It took a few live streams. A few, I think it was like 3, man. It was like, took forever. Of course it took forever. I'm sorry. It takes forever. Okay, what are we going to do? We have one side project here. And I'm going to very carefully get this out of here without crunching it all up. And that side project is everybody's most hated plane, the Ranger 2000. I still got to remember to look for, I'm going to make a superfluous purchase one of these days and buy the 1600 wings too, the 1.6 meter. Okay, so there's an issue with this, and that this is not actually engaging with the thing. So I think that means that I have to take this, let's get it under here. Let's get it on our camera. I also thought of a way I was going to do a studio upgrade during this live stream, but we won't do it because I can't find the right copper. But I thought of a way to deal with this camera. And what do you guys, you two are brilliant mechanical geniuses. I got some copper, like copper wiring. So I've got some like thick gauges, like 8, 10. It's probably 10. It's probably 10. It's not 8. That's really thick. And I was thinking of cutting the length of it, the length of this gooseneck here, and shoving it down the middle. Basically, if a 10 will fit, I think I definitely have some 12. That's easy to come by. But I thought I'd put a piece of 10 in there, and that extra copper stiffness would still bend around, but it would provide some actual, like if I wanted to go way down here, and I will let go. See, I can still do it. Let's see. Let's switch to that camera. So see when I let go right here? Whoop. Oh, that's turning. But see that extra stiffness, that one I just gotta maybe turn some of these joints. I think what I also have to do is take all these apart and screw them together with thread locker so they won't turn. So this whole, and then the camera of course needs to be replaced with a real camera that will focus and zoom and stuff. Okay, so that's what I want to fix this camera, you know, so that it will, I'll be able to put it where I want like that and then work on stuff, of course, on the live stream, right? So what I need to do is take this whole thing apart. The problem is choke, and so I turned my mic off for a second. I think it's back on. Yeah. So we have to take the servo off. That's unfortunate, but let's just take this. It's glued on there with hot glue, so we're gonna disengage the hot glue with a little bit of alcohol. Then we're gonna take this apart, and we're gonna figure out what I forgot to do. Why this is not. See, the servo actually works, but right now I'm not turning the servo. It's just turning without turning the servo. But the servo is not broken. I tested that. I think we tested it on the live stream, maybe. Okay, so let's get what we need to get. What do I need to get for this pan tilt thing? We need to get a 1.5 millimeter to open this up. That will get this out of the way. Let's get this off of here. Well, we'll just leave that there. Then we need a wee little bit of alcohol, which this bottle is too low. So we're going to use our pipette. Get copper tubing. Copper tubing. 1,600 wings aren't worth buying. If you have the 2,000, it's almost no difference. Okay? I know. Well, I guess I was just thinking of having a spare set of wings, and then it was kind of what I was thinking was maybe it's a help to have different size to check it out. Okay, is there any glue on the bottom? I don't think so. I think the glue is just in the little ears here. So I've kind of done what I wanted to do. Let's see if we can get this off. No. I gotta get different glasses on. What else did you say? Well, so, like brake line. I see what you're saying. Oh, that's a good idea. AutoZone. We have a little strip, like a strode. You guys know what a strode is? We have a strode in our town, of course. Every town does. And, jeez, this is not going to be easy. Okay, we're going to have to get out some tools to help us. And there's one block of the strode that has, now it has advanced auto. Here, we're going to tilt the plane on its side for a second, and I'm going to put some right there. Right there. Sorry, I'm not doing it under the camera. Let's get it on there too. And maybe down here. Maybe there's some down here. Oops, put a little too much on there. Let's get some of that off. Okay. It's just alcohol, 90% or something, so it's should be good. Okay, let's see if we can peel some of this away. Get this under the camera. So anyway, we have a strode with, like, ouch, with every auto parts store. There's a Napa. There's a that piece is off. That piece is off. Oh, look, it's coming off. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so now we can get at the bolts that hold this thing together. And this is, so what this pan tilt is this is, I think it's Bonafide Pirate, Keith. He's got one of those Louisiana names. Creole or French or whatever. Is that still 1.5? Yes, it is. So anyway, where are we with the camera? Are we in a good spot? I don't know. Let's get some light on here. We don't have all the light that we should have. I gotta up my lighting game. So copper tubing, brake line size, focus, focus! Focus, I can't focus. You guys, come on. I don't know how good that's coming, and my hands are right below the camera, so I'm probably blocking everything. So, yeah, I don't focus on anything. My whole life is a story of... I shouldn't even go into that. Okay, these are two different lengths. Look at that. That's one length. Maybe they're not. Okay, here we go. We finally got it apart. There, we can see that the whole thing is... Whoops, what's happening here? What did I drop? Oh, we cannot forget about this little piece. That goes back over here. So, okay. So what do we have here? We've got to get... Oh, you know what this means? We have to get this all straightened up first. So let's just put all this stuff aside. We have to get the radio working, which means I have to put a wing on. Okay, because the radio is in the wing. So here's the wing with the radio. Is this the wing I burnt? Robert was there for that, or maybe you missed it, Robert. You missed the great burning of the wing. Yes, this is the wing I burnt. And so maybe I should just get a pair, another 2,000 set of wings if I ever find them. Is Hobby King still a thing? I should try to see if this plane, the second plane where I got after I crashed this and I had to buy a second one and get these wings, and look, I'm ruining this antenna. We should put a piece of heat shrink on there. We're gonna, I don't care what you say about focusing. We're gonna put a piece of heat shrink reinforcement on that while I'm thinking of it. Which means my lovely girlfriend borrowed my heat gun for one of her Halloween projects. So I have to, here, we're gonna have to get some of this. It's over here. The stuff that I bought. The stuff that I bought that's, what size is it? That's all gonna be too small. Crap. Sorry guys, here. Which camera do I have? Let's go back to this camera. I have to get this wing on, but I have to reinforce that with heat shrink. And we have to find some decent heat shrink. So let's put this aside. The heat gun that normally hangs here, like I said, is upstairs, so I'm going to have to run up and get it. But let's find the right size first. It's got to go like over this and then over. Nope, that's way too thin. So maybe this size. Let's try that. Okay, I'm going to get fancy. I'm going to put a piece of something over this, around this, so that when I'm blasting it with heat. Do I have any other cardboard or anything? Wood bits, something. Okay, I'll be right back. Gonna get a heat gun. Please stand by. All right, I've got it back in my possession. Let's try not to burn this. Here, hold on. I'm gonna put this pad over here too. Okay. There we go. That'll help a little bit, maybe. Probably last like a week. Probably last one flight. Okay. That's from storing it, not from flying it. Okay, we're going to put this on the plane. Put this on the plane. 1 second. Let's get the plane. Let's get the plane and put it this way. Because, oh no, this way. This goes on this side. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. We don't even have to get it on all the way. We just have to get it on enough so that it... let's put the right things in the right places. This one goes in that one. And then we have that's the aileron. We should also have a receiver. Okay, so we have a receiver plug. That's the important one. We'll plug in the aileron too, just for good measure. That way. And then we're going to put this on enough to get it so it doesn't flop around too much. And get it to sit right there. Aha! That's good. Okay, next we have to have a battery. This should do. Next we have to have a radio. And we have to have the radio that's the correct radio. I can't believe I put this whole thing together and didn't connect that. That was not very bright, was it?
Throttle warning. Switch warning.
Okay.
Loiter mode. Acro mode. Situation normal.
Okay, so we need to put it into, I believe it's just the standard iNav. Yeah.
Switch warning. Loiter mode. Air mode. Situation normal.
Okay, so we have a camera switcher.
Situation normal. All fucked
Oh, it swears at us.
Horizon mode. Loiter mode.
Okay, so loiter mode will be good. It's disarmed. Throttle's down. Disarmed. We're going to plug in a battery. Are we on? Is everything working? Do I have a mic on? Not even, I can't see the... Get some tin foil. What's the tin foil for? Take the copper tubing, put it on the outside and heat. Shrink it to what you have already. We're talking about the camera reinforcement for my studio, my high-tech, high-end studio. Seems like I want to make it simple. Okay. So where's the battery connector? Let's get that. We actually have to put the battery inside so that we can put this canopy back on in its proper location. But I am not going to put the Velcro side down because I don't want to have to pull it back out. There we go. It's come to life. So let's carefully get this stuffed back in. Remember, I had to reinforce this whole top part. Okay, so let's get that is the tilt, so this is the, oh, there we go. That's centered right there. So let's get that under, oh, we can't get the camera on there. We can't get it under the camera because I have no place to put the wing, except, unless, hold on. We're going to put the chair, my office chair, over here. Scooch this whole thing under there. We're going to take all these papers away. These are our next project if we ever get to it. That's the next project. Okay. Let's look at what we got going on here. We can go back to, things are getting messy already. Hold on, I gotta clean up a little bit. Gotta clean up this comedy of errors. Clean up, prop off this thing, away this thing. Let's just leave it here. I've probably lost the screws. Nope, I haven't lost anything yet. You know I will. Let's put these things here. Let's put these things here. Okay, so which one is the tilt? That's the pan. Okay, so we can see if we go to this camera, go to that camera, it still turns, but it's not connected. This is what we're fixing. So that's centered. We'll deal with the tilt later. So what we have to do now is put some screws in there. And what I have with our channel logo on here, look at that. I finally got this camera tilted up the right way too. Last week it was pointing the wrong way. So we've got these little screws here. And I think we should use something like the M1.5 by like 5. This one or this one 6. Let's do 6. M1.5 by 6. Let's try that, shall we? So we should have a couple screws. Or should we just hot glue it? I think we should have a couple screws. This is the flight camera after all. So the question is do we have any pre-drilled holes here in this location? It looks like we should. Let's see what we got. Let's see what happens here. We're going to leave it on while I get one screw in. And let's see if it pushes it away or if it threads in. It's pushing it away. So what does that mean? We need to pre-drill some holes here. Oh, that's right, because this is a new piece. This is a new piece that hasn't had the holes drilled. So let's get our drill. And our little drill, our giant drill, and let's get the hand drill. Okay, sorry, we're going to go into this other room. And the camera in here still is not functional. So we're not going to be down that road. But let's bring this drill bit, this hand drill bit, and these little 1mm drills. So what I'm going to try to do is do this, basically, with this. And these are a problem because this is like low quality crap. If anybody has you guys have a link to a really good like hand drill like this, I would be like grateful, because these are all just junk. Oh, that one, this is not going to work. This one's not even going to work. I bet you that little chuck doesn't go on it good enough. Yeah. Okay, let's try. Let's try to turn it with our greatest strength. All right, we got it. All right, let's try this. I don't know if it's doing anything or not. I think I should get the real electric drill. Just be super careful. The giant electric drill. That's what we're gonna do. Getting over I gotta get like a small size drill or something. Okay, oh no, is it out in the garage? No, this one is here. The ancient craftsman. Okay, we're gonna try something new. This is taking a long time. I bet you this VTX is pretty hot. Let's get another one of these bits out to be fast. Not that one. One that hasn't been used before. Come on. Okay. We're going to put this 1mm drill in here. And this little tiny drill bit and this big giant drill. Let's just try for one hole first. Okay, let's get a screw in. And then we will make sure we're still centered. It looks centered. Go back to that. Let's see if it goes in. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Okay, we'll do one more. There we go. Got a little vibration now. I wonder if I got it enough to do one. I didn't drill it all the way through on this one. Those are the crappiest drill bits. I got them from Banggood a long time ago. Now it's going right in though. Actually, no, it's not. It's taking it off. I think. No, it's not. Okay, well that's kind of close. Actually, let's not do that hole. I think we should just stick with the... Actually, we need a shorter screw. Whoop. We need a shorter screw. So first we're going to go under here. There's a little bit of like plastic sticking out. Cut that off. And up here there is too, but I think that's the screw. Yeah, it's the screw. So let's put one in the back with the shorter one. So let's see, what do we got? We got 1.5 by 4. Looks like 4 is going to be what we're going to go with. We did 6. We're going to go 2 millimeters shorter. That should be good. Okay. Get a couple little guys out of there. And let's see how that goes. I'm looking down here to see if it's going to crush through there. Oh, perfect. Okay, so let's take this one out. Then we're going to put one of these shorter ones in there. Let me make sure there's no plastic sticking through, okay? And then we're going to get that in there carefully. Okay, we're good. I'm going to turn the battery off now. And we'll get it all put together and we'll test it. The worst thing I'll have to do is take it apart again. It's worried about that VTX overheating.
Telemetry lost.
Oh my God, it's hot. It's one of these TBS Unify Pro 32s. I mean, those things, I don't know if they still are made. They're good VTXs, but boy, do they get hot. And you have to understand a Rosetta Stone to get the goddamn thing to program. Okay, so now we're definitely got connection. We don't need to put any glue in there either, I don't think. Do you? A little CA and we'd be done already. But then I couldn't take it apart without a bunch of hassle, you guys. You know, I'm sorry. Not really. Oh my God, I flipped one of my labels into my orange juice. That's brilliant. One of the covers for the props. Okay, so batteries unplugged. Where are we? We're here. We're going to put this back together. So we got to put this on. Then we put this on. Little plasticky thing. Then we put this on. And it goes. Which way does it go? No, I can't remember. Let's check it out. The servo is going to go here. Right? Yeah. That's how it goes. Okay. So we got the plasticky thing on. Let's get one of these screws in here. See if it goes back together right. It's not going in. Hold on. Oh, I messed it all up. Messed it all up here. Yeah, let's get these pushed through all the way. Like that. Okay. Then let's put this thing on here. Then let's put this thing on there. Then let's go down to those points. Now I'm going to hold it there. I'm sorry if I'm really screwing up this camera view, but I got to try to get this on first before I can worry about that. I'm really probably breaking this whole thing. So like I said, this is Keith Bonafide Pirate's design, except for this top piece here with the little extra piece that I'm bolting on. Because I think what Keith did was he just doubles. You guys would probably approve of Keith's method better. He double stuck his servo just on top of the plate that's under here. So I made this second plate, which of course adds weight to this whole thing. And adds complication. But I glued those two plates together so that they're not so hard to keep going. So now what we should try is 2 little screws instead of, let's see, do we have the holes in here? Let's try these holes. Let's see if we can put some screws in here. Okay. Where's the servo? We'll get all the glue off the servo first. Good thing I didn't cut my nails before. They're due for a trim, it looks like to me. Holy crap. Okay, let's get... And we're going to have to put some, a little bit more alcohol on here. Alright. A little dab should do us. Let's use this drill bit to push that out. There we go. Come on. No, it didn't push it out. That's surprising. Shouldn't have so much trouble with the simple little glue removal. Oh, I can't get it off. Maybe I tried CA on this, huh? This didn't do a good job. No, it's hot glue. More alcohol. Get in there. There we go. There we go. One side done. Bottom side done. Now we just have some, oh, over here. Ay, ay, ay. It's a good thing I don't work in one of those factories or on an Amazon warehouse floor. Can you imagine? I'd last one day. Okay. And I haven't been warming up the hot glue gun if I need hot glue to glue this back on, which I should have been doing. Okay, let's just see if the holes line up. As I seem to remember, they didn't quite line up, and they don't. So we're going to have to glue it, because that's right, I had to alter my design. And I didn't print a new one of those, I don't think. Or maybe I did, but I printed it in the wrong one. I didn't print the... I have this terrible habit of not deleting the old crap that I want to not use anymore. I know you're probably shocked. Oh, look, those line up perfect. Maybe I did do the right one. Okay, let's try to reuse these 1 by 5. Let's just see how this goes. Very carefully. It's stripping. These are the crappiest screws. Yep, now it's stripped. Shit. Totally stripped. Oh my God, you guys, can you believe that? All right, let's get a new one. I'll probably have to just break that whole thing when I go to take that off. Why is it doing that? No. Oh, I already stripped this one. So both of these screws, we'll just consider those screws extra help. That's how shitty these screws are. They're just crap. They're just junk. Super junk. Okay, we got to get the hot glue gun. Sorry about that, folks. We're going to do that, and then while that's warming up, I will actually set this aside, and we'll start on the next thing that we're going to work on. Might have to take a short bathroom break. We'll see, but okay. Put CA in the hole, then screw it in. D. Keith wouldn't take the whole stream to do it, though. That's the big thing you're worth watching. I don't know if that's a joke or serious, but either way, I'll take it as a good thing. Because if it's a joke, it's a funny joke because it's like, you know, based in truth, like all good jokes. And if it's just a compliment, thank you. But, just a compliment. Sorry, it's just a compliment, man. Jeez. All right, so we got to glue this in. So I'm not going to put this in yet until I'm ready to, like, just get some glue in there. You're right. I should probably I should have CA'd the thing. I don't have any CA, which is one of the reasons why one of the projects I have here is the Rifter. It's in here. The Rifter, remember this? Probably not, but I printed all the parts for it. They're all crappy. That's going to be another plane that just turns into snow. Okay, so this is all connected, except we got to wait for hot glue. So let's clean up our workshop here. This is the long screws. These are the short screws. Long. They're 6 millimeters. Okay, put this away. This is goes in the 4 package. This goes in the 6 package. Yeah, these are junk. 750 pieces of junk. But they do work in a pinch, so this is what we got going on. I've ordered a different set recently because I have this one credit card that I like to spend I don't have any balance on it, but I like to put like 10 or 20 bucks on it every month so they don't cut me off because it's like a huge amount of credit. Like I can't even remember how much it is, but it's a lot. But I don't use it. So I like to buy something like just a $10 thing at Amazon every month just so they get a charge on there. So that's what I did. I bought another set of those screws. That's what I bought this time. Okay, so we're going to, this whole thing has got to go as one big collective thing here so what we're going to do beyond this project, like I said, I might have to go to the boys' room here in a second. We'll see. I think so, but we're going to work on another disaster. Don't I have a lot of them? Where is it? It's over here. This thing. Which camera are we on? This is what this is the leftovers. I'll put it upside down so you can see it in all its glory. It's a twin motor. And there's the insides of it. There's a bunch of wires because I had extensions that are way too long, but that's another story. No flight control or anything. Bare metal. Bare metal plane. It's got another one of my 3D printed wing saddles on it. And 3D printed motor mounts, which I think are still good. So, what blew up on this one? Actually, it was Andy who was flying it. It's not his fault. It was great. He was flying it, and he hit the throttle, and one of these ESCs, I think it was this one, smoked. And it left a trail of smoke coming out of the motor. It was really cool looking. Of course, there's no video of it. What a crappy YouTuber. But you can see it's a twin motor. It's got, ESCs inside the little motor pods there, and we're going to replace those ESCs. We're going to cut new foam for this. We're going to cut the wing a little different. We're not going to leave this part undone here. We're going to extend this all the way. This is the way the flight test dudes always do it, and the Bixler design. I just don't understand why. Do they need that extra? No. That just makes the wing weaker. So then you end up smashing it, and then I put this thing in, and then now the airflow's all crappy. And I put this thing in this one. So I'll have to build a new wing. I've got all the pieces printed out. And we might do a different tail. This tail design is like basically my own. So this is basically based off of Flight Test Mini Guinea. And the reason I say based off of, it's the Mini Guinea wing. It's the Mini Guinea, basically fuselage length, but I made the width a little different to accommodate the wing saddle that I had already designed for the Flight Test Explorer. So it's now the fuselage is the same width as the Flight Test Explorer because it was a slightly different width, which bugged the hell out of me. Oh, this is the nose. So we have to make a new nose, obviously. And this nose is basically I had to redo the Mini Guinea nose just by making it for the new width there. So there's that. So let's get all this crap out of the way. The hot glue gun is probably already hot after all my yapping. Let's see here. Let's put some. Yep, it is. So let's glue that up, and then I'm going to go to take a quick bathroom break. Then we have 45 minutes to start the Mini Guinea. And I've got plans to get actual video. Like I said, I'm going to get a head cam, and we're going to have actual video from the flying field. And I also have plans to try to live stream from the flying field. Now, what am I trying to get? This thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, glasses. And we'll do the camera switcheroonie. Okay, we got good camera view. I wish I could see it. There we go. Okay. We're just going to put little bits down in there. And then smush it together. And then I'm going to probably end up putting a little bit on the bottom inside there too. So I should have had a piece of foam board ready to pick up all this extra stuff. Okay. Look at those screws sticking out. That just looks terrible. Gosh, I should have drilled better. Now I'm stuck with those things until I'll have to print another one of these and redo this top thing, I think. It's probably what we'll end up doing. But anyway, we'll put a little bit of glue. Now I'm going to, we're going to have to turn the whole thing up on its side. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Let's not lose the whole thing. And let's just get some in there. There. And then I'm going to smush it in there with some... Oh, I didn't bring the foam board with me. Where is it? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We'll use this. Smush it in there a little. And I'm going to put a little bit more in there. Oh my God, I'm making a mess. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to work my way back around over here. Get my piece of foam board, which is way over here. And just squeegee that a little bit. I'll peel all this extra off later. Okay, let's switch cameras back. That's a good view, I think. So I just stuck some glue in there too. That ought to hold it, right? Not the way you guys would have done it. I guarantee it. Okay, so now let's test. Then, quick, short, 20-second boys' room break. Okay, and it's humid down here today. Temperature's cooled off, but the humidity has not. Okay, let's get some, let's put this all together. Where's our little push rod? I've probably lost that. Put that in there. So we can get this all adjusted right. We'll push it down that way, like that. We'll see where it goes. The tilt thing, not worth it. Do not recommend. Not the way I've got it set up. You'd have to, it doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough. It's not in the right spot, or I don't know what it is, but it's just not. Well, should we put it on the video and see, so you can see? We will. Let's get the video going.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Mm-hmm.
Switch warning.
Switch warning.
Loiter mode. Situation normal.
Okay.
All fucked up.
There we go. Let's get this in here. Come on. Positive click. Make sure you hear that click. That's why one of the reasons I first crashed it. Okay. First time I crashed this plane. So many crashes, so little time. Okay, here we go. Tilt or pan. So the pan is crazy. I did the Bonafide Pirate mod inside the pan servo where you add the 2 resistors. And it will actually go further, but if you go too far, it starts going crazy. Because I have to put the end points a little less end pointy. But look how far it goes. You see that? So let's do the tilt. So that's maximum up tilt right there. And that's just not very much. And then the down tilt is pretty good. You can almost look straight down if you go over there. So that's kind of cool. Can you see that? Is that coming through? So you can look down on the ground. But then you have to know what you're doing, because as you're flying, if you want to put it back, you have to go back up this way before you go all the way over here. So that's centered. It looks pretty good. It looks right on center. Actually, it's pointed a little to the right, to the left, but not enough that I'm going to care. Okay, it's done. We actually finished something. What do you guys have to say about it? Looks like a mini guinea. And lose stream video. What? Oh, and loose stream video. What does that mean? Is the video streaming not good? Oh, did we lose it? Dear. Oh my God, that's hot. I just touched the TBS thing again. Oh, I didn't put this video on. The camera on. Let's do that. Let's put the camera on so you can see. Let's get this back in here. Come on. Oh, you got to make sure you're not pinching a bunch of wires. Okay. Let's put this in. Extra security, got to remember that. Okay, let's turn it to VTX and see what we have. Quickly before we lose it. Quickly, before we overheat. VTX is number 8. Number 8, what do we got? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's the rear camera. Okay, so guys, look at all this. We've got rear camera. We have front camera.
Thank you.
The front camera can go all the way to the right or left, and then all the way to the right, and then it can look down. Oh, look up, and it can look down, and then it can go straight. Does it look straight? Looks pretty straight. Looks like that's going straight out. See, it's pointed a little bit more to the left. We could do the endpoints and fix that. Looking down, pretty cool. Let's see how it looks. Let's go back. Let's look down at the airspeed sensor. There's the airspeed sensor. Do we see it? Oh, yep, we see it. There it is. All right, so this plane is ready to cruise. Let's do the endpoints. So, quickly, before we lose our life. Okay, so we got to go. Let's go move the camera over here a little bit. And then we're going to go menu, page. Uh-oh. Why is it doing that? What are we doing that for? Okay, it's overheating. Let's unplug it. We'll do this like out in the field where we have some air, something. I don't know. I'll do the endpoints later, you guys. I got to figure out what channel it's on and all that crap, so
Telemetry lost.
we'll end it there. Not end the stream, but we'll end this part of the stream. We got that fixed. So let's get the battery out. Let's put this back in its location so we don't break it. We'll do the endpoint at the field. Take the wing off. Let's go. We're on VTX, so let's change to something else. Change to number 4. There we go. Okay. Take this apart. The wing, just a reminder of my failings. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful wingtip destroyed because I set it down next to my space heater. How stupid can you be? On this live stream, not this very live stream, but on the Wednesday workshop live stream of past, we burnt this wing. We did a wonderful job burning this wing. Okay. Put this away. Sorry, we got to get it out of the way. I don't have any staff off camera to take care of this, so we have to do it ourselves. We have to get it into this very tight spot back here. Oh my God. Oh shit. Right like that. And keep it from tilting. Okay. Mini Guinea. So, we're not going to bother taking this apart or anything right now. We're going to try to cut the new pieces first. I showed you what we had to deal with. What do we have? We have a Free Sky D8R. So old D8R 2 Plus receiver. Total old school. We have this back here. Why do we have this back? Oh, we have this back because we don't have any power from the ESCs. So I have a back. And we have a giant glop of wires that connect everything. can see in there, there's the motor wires coming through. So we'll just keep all that the same. We have look at, I even did a pigtail with the JST, a little JST here. We could put an FPV pod on this sucker. I think we ought to have this coming out the top of the wing or something. Okay. So, the hardest thing to make, of course, is the wing. So that should be the first thing we make, shouldn't it? So let's see what we got. Where did I put all of our stuff? So, we have the fuselage here. Let's just make sure that this is really the right one. Because if you look at it, you can see if this is the same length as that. And it is. Okay. Okay. So that's the fuselage. So we'll put that aside. And we will do a wing. And this is a wing here. This is another wing here. And the tail stuff is still on the printer, I think. So, what we have to do is that thing where we line this up. Except we're going to do a couple, we'll glue this all together, tape this all together. Oh my God, this table. Hold on a second, you guys. Oh, and it's working on a printer, and somehow I've made this all crooked again. So now I got to put a weight on it or something. It's working on a printer, and I had it sitting off another giant project where I'm trying to resurrect. I don't have any wide format I'm trying to get a 13 by 19 paper. I've got some 13 by 19 paper. And I have a printer that used to do 13 by 19 paper. And then it broke. So I found another one. The same exact printer that was also broken in the trash. And the part that was broken on my printer was the screen. So I thought maybe this printer has a good screen. So I trash picked it. And sure enough, it does have a good screen. So I took the screen off of that one, put it on the one that I have, that everything else works that I think. I got it all going, and the print head seems bad. So now the print heads are sitting on my workbench, both print heads from both printers, doused in alcohol. I'm going to try to clean them out and resurrect them. They're inkjet. Inkjet sucks, man. Okay, so what we're going to do, I should do this under the camera so maybe you can see what I'm doing partially. Let's put all this crap over here. Let's get rid of all this. Oh my God, it's such a mess. Such a mess, such a mess. This goes over here. How did that mouse get up there? This one is 1.5. It goes in there. That goes there. That goes there. This goes with this. Ah! Okay. Oh, also what we're going to do is see the end of the wing. That's not shaped like the Mini Guinea. So what I did was I shaped my own tail, and it turned out kind of ugly. Actually, very ugly. But I thought that shape might be good, sort of, to mirror on the end of the wing a little. I like this. So the Mini Guinea's got like a blunt wing, but I kind of like this curve. So we're going to do that, which means we're going to need to copy that curve over. So let's finish taping this together. I'm not even going to try to line everything up the fancy way. I'm just going to stick it together. Stick it together and make sure all the edges of the paper line up. That's what we're doing today. This is the quick way, and it's the less accurate way. But this is another one of these planes where it's like, you know what? doesn't probably, it's because I altered the design. It probably doesn't fly that well. I mean, I've flown it. It's a line of sight plane. I've flown it line of sight. You got to keep it close to you because it gets small fast. But it's got a twin motor, and twin motors are always fun to fly because when you fly them line of sight and you fly them down low and you whiz past yourself, it's got such a cool sound. That's the thing. Okay, so here's my thing about flying line of sight. I'm not one of those. First of all, I don't do a bunch of tricks because I can barely fly. So second, I shouldn't say that, but so what I like to do. And there was video of me doing this when I on this live stream in the past when I showed that I fixed Kevin's Optera and that I got it going and then I was able to fly it. And Kevin had video of me flying the Optera line of sight. And that was one of those times where I was flying it like I like to fly, which is low. Because when you're way up there, first of all, your neck is all bent up like this. And I'm blind. Even though I have good glasses for driving and distance and all that, it's like way far away. It's way up there. So I like to fly down low and whiz past myself and proximity fly. And that's what I like to do. So I end up just flying, going out, basically flying figure eight. So I'm whizzing past myself and all the time. Stupid, but that's what I do. Okay, let's get this under here. Okay, what do we got? You could hardly look up that far regardless. That's true. Looking down is pretty cool. That's about the right amount. I agree. I like looking down. So we're going to keep the pan and the tilt. I mean the tilt. Always want to have the pan, but I was wondering about if I wanted to keep the tilt. I put my pan and tilt on the slider, but I also put it on a 3-position switch so you could always go back to center. Oh, how do you do that? You have to override. You do special functions and do overrides, right? I'll bet you that's what you do in OpenTX, right? Are you an OpenTX guy? I should know this, but I'm assuming you're OpenTX. Not Spectrum. Please don't tell me you got Spectrum. Okay. Is anybody even watching? Is anybody even out there? Hi, you guys, if you're out there. Yes, you're OpenTX. Okay. All right, we're going to this wing. Sorry, I'm procrastinating on actually doing stuff. We need to cut this down a little bit to get it to fit on a piece of foam board. Oh my God, there's glue globs everywhere from the last project. Okay, let's get our piece of foam board. No, let's cut this down. So we're going to put the long edge. What's going to be the trailing edge? This is the trailing edge here. Let's go. Let's see. This is too close. This is what this camera looks like. I don't even think you can see anything. I don't even think you can see the lines. Can you even see the lines? So one of the things we're going to do, we might as well do it right now. Let's get this light on. This might help. We're going to draw a line because we're going to extend this part all the way to here. And then we're going to probably fold it and end up cutting it because I don't have a CAD thing to end up figuring out the curve at the end, the mirror image. So let's draw a line. Let me get my drafting pencil, 2H. And we'll draw a line. And then we'll draw another line over here where we go this way at the end. So then let's get the wing. So this is the top of the wing. So here's what I want to do. We'll just do the curve. We'll just do a quick curve like this. And we'll do the same at the other end. So that's what I'm going to cut. this line here, it's going to go like that. We'll do a smoother cut, but there we go. Okay, and then this part will go actually to about, instead of going that far, we'll go this far. Does that make sense? So we're starting, well, actually, let's do it a little bit. Actually, I'm rethinking. We're going to do it a little bit further back. This far. So we won't do those. Okay. That's what we're going to cut. I hope that makes sense. And you don't need plans, you just need measurements. This is true, you don't need plans, but I like to have something to help me cut out instead of me having to draw it the same every time, which is why I take my Adobe Illustrator, and even when I modify something, I draw it on here first, right on the paper, and then I end up, you know, taking it into Adobe Illustrator and trying to finish it so I can just print it again. Okay, let's get a piece of foam board. Piece of foam board. Okay, we got our piece of Dollar Tree foam board. And we got to decide which edge we should put. I think we should do, this edge will be the edge that goes on the edge of the foam board. So we're going to cut this exactly. I like this big piece of, still going to go this way though. We're going to cut this edge. This is going to be the edge that goes edge onto the foam board. Then we'll make a little border around the rest of it. So we'll cut this square down the line, straight down the line. And then the rest of it, we don't need to be exact. We're just going to go around here. And then down here. Oh! Lost our thread there. There we go. Scrap paper pile. I use those sheets to level my 3D printer. I still do it that way, you guys, on my one 3D printer that I have operating right now. Of the 3 3D printers that we have in our shop right now, we have one fully functioning. Maybe we'll do that on a project. Actually, the other one's fully functioning too, but I have it in limbo just so I can plan on putting the Chimera on there, which I've had for like 2 years now, in a box, brand new. They've probably come out with 10 different products that are newer and better. But this one had like an upgrade guide that put it right on an ANET A8, and that's what I have to put it on. Okay, this cute little wing. Cute little wing here. Does it go this way? Oh my God, it goes this way. But do we want it to go this way? We do not. Why do we not want it to go this way? Because the ripples in the ripples, should the ripples be along the length? I don't know if you can see, but this foam board is really crappy. Dollar Tree foam board. The stuff that they use for flight tests too. I guess the flight test stuff that you buy from them doesn't have this ripples. It's of higher quality supposedly. But it costs like $10 million. So which way should we do it? Hey, who's here? Buzzard FPV, what's happening? Bad for life? Oh my God, there's more than just Robert and Chris. Oh, Chris has disappeared. He's probably said goodnight already, and I didn't notice. Okay, I think we're gonna do it ripples longitudinal. Ripples are going this way, wings going this way. The ripples on the real wing would not go with, the ripples on the real wing would go with, not length. Go with, not length. Oh, I see. Maybe you're right, because the air would go whoosh instead of going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Let's do it that way. Since the wing is short enough, I agree. After you've made your statement, I agree with the statement. So we're going to go ripples, width, not length. And I managed not to go to the boys' room, and in 20 more minutes, I think I can make it. Now that I think about it, I don't know if I can make it. Yeah, we'll try. Oh, something just did make a noise up there that I'm going to have to go check out, though. So we're going to stand by for 1 second. We're just going to put it on this. What are we going to put it on? We don't have anything. Go to the boys' room in the bottle. Yep. Okay, 1 second. Alrighty. That wasn't that bad. It's still alive up there. Okay, cameras, microphone, everything's back. Okay, looks good from what I can see. Okay, let's start cutting. Razor blade's reasonably sharp. We're going to do the score cuts first. Because I don't think you can even see over here with this camera set up the way it is right now. Not going to worry about that. Next month, with my Visa card that I don't want to spend money on, I'm going to buy a USB extender for this camera, extension cable, so that I can put it more in the center, and then we'll have this camera finally where I want it. But for now, basically, it's too far away, so we're just going to, and I'm going to do the copper thing. I don't know what I'm going to do, copper tubing, copper wire. I'm going to look and see what the dimension is. I'm going to take that thing apart and get the inner dimension with my calipers. Okay, so this is the main score cut here. This is the leading edge. So we'll do that first so we have the sharpest, cleanest, nicest cut. Then we will put some pieces of tape together so it doesn't start falling apart all over the place on me. Oops, wrong place, you idiot. Right there. One more. I waste so much tape. Okay. You don't need to do that. You do not need to do that. Okay, this is, now I was thinking of making this like a experimental airlines. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The channel experimental airlines. It's been revived by this guy that has another channel called like Aero Life or something that I was already subscribed to. And he made like flight tests. I kept calling them like flight tests like planes, but they were, I don't know if you guys ever watched Ed from Experimental Airlines and the Experimental Airlines building technique. Oh, let's put some reinforcement here before this whole thing falls apart. As opposed to the flight test building technique. So they both use Dollar Tree foam board, but the Experimental Airlines technique is different. And I don't even know if you guys even know what the hell I'm talking about. Hey, Kevin, what's happening? Kevin's in the house. I was talking about you earlier. It was all good. I was saying that you were really like making yourself. Where does that aileron go to? I shouldn't have lifted that, but their aileron went right to the end and mine didn't. That's right. That you have really, like at the club this weekend, you were like concentrating on your flying skills and just pushing yourself. And it was good to see. I should learn how to do the same. So, anyway, what was I blabbing about before Kevin dropped into the house here? I was talking about, I don't know. Oh, Experimental Airlines. Yes. That's what I said earlier. Have you ever made earlier? Yeah, okay, so yes, here we go. Let's get it out right now because I like to go on tangents. Here is the very best example that I have. This is an upcoming project. Look at, there's dust on top of this. This is going, on my beginning clips, there's a twin airplane, the Twin Explorer with the carbon fiber boom. This is a new wing. I think I've talked about this before as a project that's going to be on this channel, on this live stream. So here we have done not exactly the Experimental Airlines, but the Experimental Airlines, yes, the technique except for this spar. I don't do foam board spars. I just don't do foam board spars, period. So that's that. So this has a foam board kind of shaper here that ended up not to be the best idea because it does make a little bit of a ridge on top of the wing. Man, this is dusty. But I spent a lot of time making this wing. It did not happen on a live stream, but the plane build will, probably, or at least most of it. So that is definitely a better. Oh, and this wing too. This is basically taking the flight test dimensions for this plane, the Andrew Newton dimensions for this plane, and he made his wings out of Depron, I think, and they were way better than this wing. But there's also an attempt at Experimental Airlines wing technique without the spar, the way he does the spar. This one turned out not so good, and the reason is because it's basically got built-in flaps that I didn't want. See, if you can see, here's the bottom edge of the wing, and the top edge kind of goes over, and it creates a flap area like that. It creates too much of a. So that's the problem with this wing. And so one of these days, after we fatally wound this plane, we'll build a new one. And we will build a better wing. Let's hope. So anyway, Experimental Airlines, the guy Aero Life FPV or whatever his channel was, which he still has, he must have, because he made some awesome videos, lots and lots. He's a real YouTuber. I don't know how many subscribers he's got or whatever, but he's like a real YouTuber, not like me, who's just like a poser YouTuber. So, and he has some great footage of his planes. Like he has a drone that he shoots his planes from a drone, and you know, all that. I'd love to hang out with that guy, do some FPV stuff, like have him come camp with us. That would force me to have a camping trip. Come out here to Kansas. Anyway, I'm getting the end of this wing before we get much further because it's all about to fall apart. In fact, it's falling apart right in front of my eyes right here. So anyway, he makes a bunch of planes, kind of like my Twin Explorer carbon fiber wing, but his is all like foam board, and his video way better. He does long range. He does. And anyway, I love his channel, and he has taken up the Experimental Airlines channel. That's what I'm trying to get to. He's taken it up. He's got it. It's his channel now. Because Ed went off the rails. He went off the rails. One day, I was watching went to go to his channel, and it was like all Tesla. He was like talking about Teslas. You know, I freaking hate Teslas. Anyway, if you want to buy a piece of junk, get yourself a Tesla. You want to buy an overpriced piece of junk, go out and buy a Tesla. So that was discouraging, and then I was like, and then he renamed. So his channel was still called Experimental Airlines, but his videos were about Teslas, all the new videos. And then he changed his channel name to like Tesla Dreams or something like that. And I was like, oh, ouch. I'm making a mark there. Sorry, so I can see where I'm cutting to. I don't know why. I just hate wasting all this foam board by cutting too far. So, yeah, he changed his channel name, and then he was doing all Tesla videos about his Tesla because he got a Tesla, and he moved. So he moved. That was the first thing. He moved to a place where he couldn't fly anymore, like to Virginia or something. And, oops, shit. I just cut this wrong. God damn it. The first cut was right. Oh, no, it's cutting. It's okay. It's all right. It's fine. There we go. Everything's fine. There we go. All right. So that was a bummer. And I was like, and I was thinking, oh, we're going to lose all those videos. In fact, I think I even downloaded a few of them because there was a couple planes that I wanted to build eventually. And so the guy has taken over his channel, or is probably, I'm sure they coordinated it and everything, but thank goodness. Good times. Something good in the world. Anyway, this is not that, it didn't just happen recently. I think it's been months or maybe even a year. I don't know how long, but it's definitely happened now. Okay, so now we have our wing almost cut out. Probably not going to get much further today, but at least we have a new project before we get to the Twin Explorer project, because I still think I need a few bits of, I need to get all the electronics together for the Twin Explorer project. So this will give me time. We'll do this, and that'll give me time to get all the goodies together for that. Okay. We're going to try to do this end thing. Let's get this crap out of the way. We don't need any more. Everything else I'm going to do myself. Oh, no, we didn't do this cut. Hold on. Hold on. One of the critical cuts we left off. Got to do this one. Oh, don't move. Don't fall apart yet. Let's start it there. So, Kevin, if you're still here, I did recap at the beginning of the stream on all my failings at the flying field. you lucked out. You didn't have to pay much attention to him because, like I said, you were definitely doing some serious flying there, which was awesome. So he was flying several planes, but the one that he was flying, the simple stick, like that I built, basically almost the same. I copied his plane, is basically what I did. Yeah. Okay, we don't need that anymore. Scrap pile. That plane flies great. So I need to get that thing in the air and get it going. Okay, so now we have our wing. So this line here is the leading edge. Let's take our ready board sticker off. In fact, we're going to make this ready board part of our design today. So we're going to take this, do this under the camera here. We'll do it sideways. There we go. What time is it? Time to go, but we're going to do a little bit more. We're going to finish taping this. So let's do this. Let's cut this out. I hope I'm getting it on camera, but this is what I do a lot, is take this ready board. I like to advertise. It's just made out of freaking foam board. We'll just cut out the logo. Gotta love corporate logos, right? Right. These, I've probably said this before, but they're in Warren, Michigan. Oh, Wyoming, Michigan. That's not where. I don't know where exactly where. Why did I think it was Warren, Michigan? Warren, Michigan's right near where I grew up. Okay, so let's put this. I didn't even do it under the camera. Sorry. Let's put this up here because. Oh, wait. What do we got going? This is the trailing edge. This is the leading edge. Leading edge. Leading edge. So we're going to put it right here like this. Okay. Right like that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line. We're just going to make this super simple. This is how I do my super simple plane designs. This is not, don't copy me because it's stupid. I mean, you could copy me, but why would you want to? Because it's just lame. But anyway, it's okay. This is what we do. We're going to measure out just a random distance to get just one color. So we got a 1/2 inch marker there. So let's get our pencil. So let's go. Well, let's just get, we only have to measure one mark. We're going to go to 9. And then to that. So it's going to go from that corner. So now we're going to make a mark at the leading edge here, which is right there. So that's the leading edge. So, and then we're going to make another mark like, let's just randomly go 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch from the leading edge. Okay, so now we need our long ruler. And we'll just draw one line. I don't know how much of this is getting on here. But we're going to draw one line from the bottom mark to this bottom mark. I should have had both wings cut out so I could remember this. I'll just measure it. I'll measure it off of this one, I guess. Okay, and then that's the leading edge. So we're going to, let's get this guy out of there. We're going to do that. So now, that's going to be our stripe from the leading edge back. Leading edge back to here. Is that coming through? No, it's not. Because its camera sucks. Leading edge, so it'll be like a stripe like that. Oh, and then ready board's upside down. Ready board's upside down. Want ready board this way. Because we'll look at the wing from behind. Okay, so now what we're going to do, this is the most boring part. Maybe I should do this part off camera. I will. I'll magic marker this off camera because it's 11 o'clock. But we'll make a stripe on the wing. We'll make a stripe on the other wing when we make the other wing next week. And let me read the chat for a sec and see what you guys are talking about. Andrew Milton doesn't build flight test wings. He builds arm and experimental airline wings. Yes. So this plane, let me go back and explain that. I'll take a few extra minutes just to clarify. These dimensions were from, if this is what you're talking about, because they said something about Andrew Newton's dimensions. This fuselage is approximately the dimensions that Andrew Newton had for his, what is this plane called? The Skyhawk, the Sky Hunter, something, the foamy plane that's like the twin boom. I have one in a box. Maybe someday we'll build it on stream because it's one of my planes that I have, a zillion planes piled back there. So this is my foam board imitation of Andrew Newton's foam board imitation of that plane. So I know that I built my fuselage with flight test method, and I built my tail with the who knows what the hell I'm screwing off method. And I built the wing with the very first time with the experimental airlines more or less method, but failed because of the extra built-in flaps you can see here, which is still okay. That's okay. It'll fly. It's flown before. It'll fly again. So I don't know if I needed to clarify that or not. I'm sorry. But yeah. I totally know. But I love Andrew Newton, by the way. I love his videos. I would strive to be able to make a concise, clear how-to video like he does. I mean, awesome. Got to thank him. Anyway, you guys, I am going to... Oh, Ed handed it over to him. So you already know. Of course, you already know everything. And he lives in the Netherlands. Ed lives in the Netherlands now? Okay, well, he did move to Virginia at one point. And the Aerolite FPV guy who now has experimental airlines, he definitely doesn't live in Netherlands. So you must be talking about Ed, right? Okay. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Robert, Kevin, Blizzard, Buzzard, Chris, which is North 49. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate you. Anybody else who's here watching, thank you for watching. We're going to go to the end clip because I got to press the end clip button here. And we will see you next week. Good night. Have a nice week.